train more, not less. A super popular trend that's been developing lately is this idea and fixation on recovery, and that you need such and such time to recover from certain movements, certain muscles need such and such time to recover, and this kind of thing. And while I do agree that recovery is important, it's not nearly as important as what you think. For those of you that do understand the difference of how a natural gains muscle versus how a steroid user gains muscle, you understand that the only way we are able to build muscle as naturals is by protein synthesis. That comes from training exposures. So unlike those who stick the needle in and get the benefit of 24/7 protein synthesis, elevated hormone profiles, looking at weights and gaining muscle, this kind of thing, we have to depend on our training to build muscle. Now, those of you that have taken a deep dive into the science will understand that myofibrillar hypertrophy is best achieved by what? Getting stronger, high amounts of mechanical tension. Through the lenses of this real science, not the pseudoscience and emotional, heartfelt statements made by certain people out there telling you that you need 25 days of recovery in between sessions and stuff like that. A better approach for the natural who is genuinely interested in gaining strength and gaining muscle is an extremely high frequency approach. That's the scientific end of it. Now, here's the real life human end of it. And you might think this is morbid and you might disagree with it, and that's perfectly fine. I hope you do actually comment on this and have something to say. I don't want to get flattened like a pancake by a bus on a rest day. I want to get flattened like a pancake by a bus after I did squats for the 85th day in a row, okay? Training is fun, right? Just like I made in other videos. I'm not going to sit here and take rest days and stuff like that under the guise of it might be better for me, when in reality, I don't even believe that that's true. But let's say even it was true. Let's say you could come up with some sort of compelling argument to tell me that training way less was going to yield way better hypertrophy and way better strength outcomes for me, who is not a steroid user. Again, don't really agree with that, but let's say that that was true. You want to know what I'd say? I don't care. I like training. I like lifting weights. I like being an athlete and stuff like that. So even if it's less optimal, I'm going to do it anyways, because like I said, you could die any moment. And I know we don't like to say that and talk about that kind of stuff, but hey man, that's life. Instead of looking to the experts in the books like I've done, don't make the mistakes I've made for so long. Look at real people in real life that have real results. Again, if you don't know how to spot somebody on steroids, this video is not for you, okay? Those of you that engage with my content and stuff that exist in kind of our community, if you will, you do understand the difference of somebody on gear versus not on gear. So with that being said, look at the real life naturals out there that actually have good results. You're going to notice two things about them. They all have somewhat of a high frequency approach, meaning they're hitting major movements, major muscle groups at least twice a week, and in some cases up to 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week for some of them. That's the number one thing you're going to notice. The number two thing that you're going to notice is their priority is strength, strength, strength. Progressive overload, progressive overload, progressive overload. How do I get stronger, right? How do I build up a bigger compound movement? Or how do I add tons more volume over the course of a set period of time? So progressive overload and high frequency seems to be their driver. And let's face the facts. Results speak for themselves. Results speak volumes. I'm not going to go on a tangent about the steroid users. We all know I'm not going to listen to what you have to say in regards to any of this stuff because you cheated, right? So I'm going to look to guys that I know that are natural that are doing it better than me. They're stronger than me. They're bigger than me. They're faster than me as an athlete, this kind of thing. That's where I'm going to get my data from, okay? So to wrap all of this up, this isn't meant to be hateful or anything like that. And by all means, if you train whatsoever, you're a friend of mine, okay? But at the end of the day, this whole my side's better than your side and you're stupid if you train every day and this kind of stuff and you better wait until you get older and I hope you don't get injured. What a weak ass take that is. What a weak ass take that is, man. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that kind of stuff. First of all, wishing injury upon somebody else. And second of all, because it's not the way you did it, it's wrong. That's not the move, guys. If we want to keep moving this field forward and we want to find what is the limit for naturals, what is the limit for us? You know, we're a small knit community apparently these days because pretty much everybody's on gear now, it seems like. How are we going to do it? We're going to work together, not against one another, okay? And this isn't a kumbaya session, you guys know. That's not my style on this channel anyways. But what this is a public service announcement. Quit being a wimp. Get the barbell out. Load that son of a bitch up and lift it. Thanks for watching.